Large language models are everywhere. As with the advancements in AI over the last 1.5 year, the generative AI is at the top of the agenda for everyone. And today we are going to discuss this topic in advertising space. In advertising, these models use data to produce compelling creative copy that resonates with targeted audiences. This includes everything from catchy headlines to detailed product descriptions and impressive sales pitches.
Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Welcome to the Open Tech Talks. Your host Kashif Manzoor is with you. Today's session number is 134. If you're new to the show or returning as a member of the Open Tech Talks community, welcome to the show. Open Tech Talks is your weekly sandbox for AI, machine learning, technology insights, experimentation, and inspiration. Its primary objective is learning and sharing with the community. Welcome to Open Tech Talks.tv. And today we have a guest speaker, Robert Brill from the Brill Media, CEO of the Brill Media, if we will rightly said to that one, Brill Media. Robert, welcome to the show. And Open Tech Talks is a primarily show for the tech folks, whoever is working in the technology space. So let's hear from you what
Thanks.
Robert is known for in the Brill Media.
Yeah, thanks, Kashif. I appreciate it. So, we're an advertising agency. Our job is to run ads to generate leads and sales. And I've been working in advertising for 20 years. Started my company 10 years ago, and I've bootstrapped it. And we do multiple $1 million of revenue, and we've been on the Inc. 5000 and Financial Times 500 10 times. And the reason we're successful is because agencies, a lot of our clients are agencies, and they work with us to run their ad buying and pair up their services like creative work and whatnot. And we're successful because clients trust us. We earn their trust. We do good work. We generate and grow businesses. And let's talk about tech.
Okay. So now you help the agencies to on the marketing or advertising, or if we narrow down to the business point of view.
Yes.
Okay.
So what we help clients do is understand how to achieve their business goals with advertising. So when we think about advertising, you're showing up ads on Meta, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on your local news and sports sites, Google, connected television like Hulu and Roku. But the biggest challenge I think businesses have is they see a dramatic volume of different places to run advertising, and they don't
Right.
know where to go to generate the best results. And the way you answer that, where do we go for advertising, is you start with a strategy. And the strategy helps you understand how to achieve your business goals, taking into account who your customers are, what your transformative value actually is, where you need, why customers are working with you, the economics of your business, and a few other things. And so we pair up that information with essentially our knowledge of the advertising and marketing landscape to deliver goals. So whenever, a common question for our clients is, why aren't we running on, XYZ platform? Why aren't we running on X or Pinterest or Nextdoor or Quora or Reddit or Pinterest or whatever the case is? And the answer to that question is, well, it's dependent upon our strategy. Is that channel part of our strategy? If the answer is no, then that's your answer. It's not part of our strategy. Like Meta and Google, 45% of all digital advertising will run on Meta and Google in 2024. So chances are you're going to want to be on Meta and Google for those channels. Meta has the best algorithm in the world for advertising, and Google is really great for intent-based queries that you can capitalize on with search ads.
Okay. Now let's take some scenarios, uh, because there will be audience will be two type of, either they're working in some organizations and those are established customers,
Yeah.
and then there could be where they are the startups or maybe a new organizations and with limited budgets.
Yeah.
So I think let's take one by one, maybe to start, to give them the context so that they can get out of our today's session. So let's start with the organizations which are in the limited capacity on the budgets. They are early in their brand or maybe service or a product, and they don't want to invest so much on the advertisement and so
100%.
also so what are their way forward for being, you are in the expert in and you're helping a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question of, do you have time or do you have money?
Hmm.
So if you have time and not money, when I say you don't have money, that means you want to ensure that any money that you have stays available to you to extend the runway of your business. And by the way, I understand that perspective because I was there once as well. I bootstrapped this
Right.
company. So, number one, if you have time but not money, you want to focus on number one, you want to focus on product market fit. Even I was going to say social media, but even before social media, you want to understand, what do you have that people want? Do people actually want your product or service? Do you know how to talk about it in a way that people are interested in it? And then finally, is it priced correctly?
Right.
So the first step is understand if you have something that people are willing to spend money for. If you And to do that, the way I did it in the service business B2B is I went to a lot of conferences and I talked to a lot of people, and I understood when people were interested in what I had to say and when their eyes glossed over because it was boring to them. I figured out the language to use. Then I started on social media, and this was around, I took a few detours. So around 2015, 2016, I spent a year and a half posting on Twitter every day, and I had someone help me do that. It took about a year and a half before I got the first client out of Twitter. So that's when I say time. I could have probably acquired that client earlier, but I had time but not money.
Right.
So I would say post on social media. And the reason posting on social media is valuable is because, so let me actually take a step back. Focus on TikTok. I don't care what your business is. Focus on TikTok for content. Because TikTok, even my B2B business serving agencies, I create content for TikTok first. And then I syndicate that content all across LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X. So number one, focus on creating content, ideally TikTok. The reason why I say TikTok is because it will allow you to create bad content that no one's going to see. You make bad
Okay.
videos, you're horrible at it. You don't know what to say, you're nervous in front of the camera, your lighting is bad, all that stuff. Guess what? 100 people are going to see it. No, not to worry. Not to worry. When you get better, 2, 3, 400 people will see it. I have a video going viral right now that has 125,000 views. It's my best video ever. And when you get better at it, you have repetition and muscle memory and you learn something. That's when the videos will start to get seen. And that's when you start to post across all the major and minor social platforms. So what that teaches you is how to be expressive for your business, how to motivate and inspire people to buy from you such that you can talk about it in many different ways. Okay. Then you take the best videos, and those are the ones you run as ads. And that's the
Okay.
way it's vetted. It's curated. The platform has told you what's good and what's not.
Great.
So I would post on social media and get good at that. Spend the next year posting on social media or creating a podcast that you create a podcast on every day. It depends on the type of business you have.
Right.
You got to get good. I went through 3 mics before I figured out that this is the right mic. And by the way, I have a friend who's in audio. He helped me figure this out. I have all kinds of devices that literally, if I ever have to move or rearrange the desk, I have no idea how to reconnect any of this stuff. I have like 3 or 4 things here. A cloud filter. What in the heck is
And
a
I'm
cloud
still
filter?
struggling, with the old one. I bought it maybe 5 years back, and I'm going through same challenges, even individually.
Well, it
True.
sounds good. This is the Shure SM7B, by the way. This is the mic that I see in a lot of podcasters. That's what
Mm,
SHURE.
mm,
But I have a Focusrite. I don't know how to use this stuff. This is not my domain of expertise.
true.
So you've got to, as an entrepreneur, I think what's interesting is this is the best time in the world to be a technology tinkerer, because a
Mm,
technology tinkerer has an opportunity to really build a business just out of the fun and joy that you get from
mm,
tinkering. In
mm,
fact, I
right.
was at a conference last week, so the Traffic and Conversions conference, and I met this man who is the CEO of a 600 person business. And I was like, we were talking, and I could get the sense that all he wants to do is fade into obscurity and tinker with tech and build a completely new startup unrelated to what his current company is, just like I'm doing. I could tell from his
Mm,
energy, because
mhm,
it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, when we think about advertising agencies, there's multinational advertising agencies that manage billions of dollars. We're small
mm,
fries compared to that. But we have clients that
mm,
are helpful, that we help, and we're
mm,
a valuable member to their team, but we're not a multi-billion dollar company, right?
mhm, mm,
I
mm,
have the freedom to go
mm,
in and tinker. So I advise anyone listening to this who has the interest and has the itch and thinks that they can do something better and leaner and more interesting, tinker.
mm,
Just
mm.
play with things
Okay.
and figure out what you can get,
True.
because you are actually probably far more unencumbered professionally than you think. That
Mm,
can lead to really amazing things. And that's one of the things I love about my business, which is this idea of freedom. I'm in this
right.
business because I wanted freedom. I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to have to ask for time off. I didn't want to
Mhm,
tell people certain things, like if I wanted to take an hour and a half off to work, to spend time with my family and do Legos with my 5-year-old. Like, I can
mm.
just do it. So
True.
the mission for our business is to help other people achieve that freedom. That doesn't mean,
Mm,
it still means I have to work. I can't just
right.
like retire, and I like to
Mm,
work, but
mhm,
I get to work in the things that I want to do. And I
mhm.
get to spend the
Right.
time the way I want to spend my time. And I have freedom of choice. And that's what I think about when I think about freedom and the mission for our business and helping other companies, especially small businesses, grow.
Right. That was for small business. Now, if we talk about the established business, which are the large enterprises, and they
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on advertisement and
Yeah.
with the new social influencers and all that. So, what are your take on that?
Yeah. So it's the same thing. Start with a
Mhm,
strategy,
mhm,
deploy that strategy, and don't deviate from that strategy. So when we talk about marketing and advertising, in the example of the social media content posting and the creative, you're getting feedback from the larger marketplace about what resonates with people and what doesn't when one video goes viral and like 200 of them don't. You know what
mhm,
works and what doesn't. You start to learn. So take that idea of advertising is a real-time focus group. You don't have to go out and talk to 10 people and ask them a bunch of questions. You can run ads, and the
mhm,
advertising data will tell you what people like and what people don't like. So here are
mhm,
the best practices for advertising in 2024, in no particular order. Number
mhm,
one, your advertising channels work together with each other and with larger marketing channels. It's always a red flag for me when an advertiser says, "Well, I want to compare the results of Facebook with Google."
mhm,
No,
mhm,
they work together. They create
mhm,
a symphony.
mhm,
Facebook and or Meta and and Google and TikTok and Hulu ads and banner advertising,
mhm,
that's the
mhm.
orchestra. You don't just have
Right.
one instrument in an orchestra, you have
Mhm,
10 or 100 instruments that all work together to make
mhm,
that beautiful sound. That's what you're doing in a business with marketing and advertising. We want the
mhm,
marketing and advertising efforts to work together. Google works with Meta, works with TikTok, works with Hulu. They all have different roles in your marketing channels, and you should not um, assess the KPIs for Hulu with the same way that you look at Google or Meta, right? They
mhm,
serve different parts of the funnel. So that's the
mhm,
first thing. The second thing is going back to this idea of creative testing framework on Meta specifically. So again,
Mhm.
45% of advertising is going to be on Google and Meta in 2024 of all digital advertising. And digital advertising is the vast majority of all advertising in
Of the
2024,
all the
right?
price. True.
So Meta, what you're doing is it's a three-step process. Number one,
Mhm.
broad targeting age, gender, and location.
Right.
Number two, you're doing a creative testing framework to understand. So the idea is to create a control and variable test. And what
Mhm.
you're doing is you're going to cull down from a lot of different ads down to one, down to your all-star team. And
Mm.
those ads are the following. On Meta, there's one ad has three components that you really want to test for. The image at the primary text at the top, the image or video in the middle, and the headline at the bottom. Our standard recommendation for clients is create 5 ads per month.
Mhm. Okay.
Disassemble them so that you
Mhm.
have 5 headlines, 5 images, and 5 primary text. You have 15 different elements, and then you mix and match them. That creates 5 times 5 times 5. You have 125 different possible ad variations.
Right.
What we do with the control variable test over the course of a month is go from 125 down to 1. And that
Mhm.
1 is your best. And what you're
Right.
gonna start to see is most of your sales and most of your leads are gonna come from that one ad. So,
Mhm.
you do that creative testing framework every month. You never stop that. No matter how good your ads are doing, you never stop that, and you run ads that are different. Some long ads, long form video or short form video, long form
Mm.
text, short form text, positive messaging, negative messaging. So
Mm.
you always test. You test
Right.
different products and services, offers and discounts. And through that iterative process, you understand what your customers want from you and what they don't want from you. So that's the element of real-time focus group through advertising. The third thing in this three-step creative testing process is ultimately the result. The
Mhm.
result is the following: the broad targeting and the creative testing, you
Mhm.
are training Meta's machine learning algorithm to find your best customers.
Mhm.
No more keyword targeting, no more interest targeting, no more lookalike and remarketing. All of that is
Mhm.
happening in your broad targeting age, gender, and location. And so over time, you have the ability to dramatically scale an ad account to grow your business sustainably. And you also
Mhm.
get the feedback and understanding of what works and what doesn't for your business. So number one, all your media needs to work together. Number two, train Meta's machine learning algorithm and syndicate the learnings across all the different channels, right? Whatever works on Meta, then push it out to LinkedIn and YouTube, etc. And number three is the fundamental idea that advertising is going far more black box in 2024. So
Mhm.
the idea that you can have very granular targeting is going away. And Meta is the best example. Broad targeting. We're targeting a lot of different hundreds of millions of people to
People.
reach 20 or 30,000 people to generate sales. And Meta does that well. Google is doing the same thing with Performance Max and with the
Mm.
way that they structure their ad creative on their lead generation campaigns and whatnot. TikTok has smart ads. The core idea is you're going to do broad targeting and sort of you're going to feed the algorithm with a lot of different data and creative executions, and you're going to let the algorithm figure out where to find your customers. And your job as a media buyer is to ensure that the algorithms are working for you. And I wrap this up to say there's this theoretical physicist named Michio Kaku. He talks about different types of civilizations. You might know him. And he talks about the jobs of the future, which I would say the jobs of the present are we are going to be tending to the machines. That's
Mm.
all we do. We tend to the machines. We set the guardrails, we look at the data, and we make sure that the machines are working for us, not against us. So we're already there. We're tending to the machines.
Okay. So now with the tending to the machines, brought me a question on the most hot topic of the I think last couple of years,
Okay.
the AI.
Yeah.
Now with the AI and generative AI, the content are being created, or maybe it's on the right now, everywhere, even from creating a product description to product titles. And even I was
Yeah.
reading some of the companies were using even to create the sales copy of those advertisement or the banners or ads.
Yeah.
So how do you see, or how are you using in your business? You started using it. How do you seeing it from a customer point of view?
Yeah, absolutely. So um we're using a chat agent from ChatGPT as a copywriting tool. So, we would outsource our copywriting to several people around the country. And we'd
Right.
give them projects and we say, look, get this back to us. And it'll take 3, 4 days and there'd be a few rounds of review.
Mhm.
We've trained a copywriting agent on ChatGPT to
Mhm.
understand the frameworks of the best copywriters in the world throughout history, to understand the actual frameworks that work for
Mhm.
copywriting. We've asked the ChatGPT to understand how to scan a website, like our client's website, to understand
Right.
how they're talking about their business.
Mhm.
And essentially, in the course of 20 to 30 minutes, just through iterative work, we can get 50 different copy points for various ads
Mhm.
across all of our channels. It's
Mhm.
less expensive for us because there's no variable cost. I don't have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to copywriters. It
Copyright.
happens
Yeah.
in 20, 30 minutes, not 3 or 4 days. And when we
Mhm.
tested this against our advertising, our cost per click is 40% more effective on Google, for example, than
Mhm.
human written copy. So, and we pass along the savings to our clients to ensure that they participate in the value creation that AI is giving us. So that's where we are today. And we started doing that a few months ago when Chat GPT or chat agents were created. What we have been doing for, since Chat GPT came out is using Chat GPT and Grammarly and Quillbot and a few other things to
Mhm.
accelerate the work that we do, the research. So for
Right.
example, I'm on an SEO journey right now and I'm creating a lot of content for search engine optimization for our business. We don't offer it
Right.
as a service, but we do it for our business.
Mhm.
And if I'm researching a particular topic, I know the topic, 7 ways to do remarketing in 2024. I can do that off the top of my head. What I
Right.
can't do so easily is organize a
Mhm.
coherent set of, let's say, 5 paragraphs
Mhm.
or five headlines around that. And I put in the argument what I need. ChatGPT spits it out in a minute or two. It's
Mhm.
primed to understand that we're talking about from our business. It knows what Brill Media does, and it
Mhm.
gives me basically an article outline. And then I
Right.
start writing it up. Say, okay, I have to answer this point and this point and this point, and I can do that very easily. And it
Mhm.
accelerates the learning and the research 20 to 60 minutes. So it saves me time. Um, and then every now and again, I'll use ChatGPT to spruce up my language. What I'll never do is copy and paste language from ChatGPT into a web page. That doesn't.
Mhm.
I know Google's going to eventually ding and sort of discredit those types of content. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm here for the long term. I don't want shortcuts.
Right.
Um, in the future, what we're doing, we're working with an AI consultant right now to
Mhm.
help create a report writing editor so that we
Okay.
can write reports, mostly economic reports or numbers related reports about the campaigns that
Right.
we're running, but to
Mhm.
make it like more interesting. That's what we're doing.
Mhm.
So we don't
Mhm.
have to go through multiple rounds of internal review for humans to review it. We can have the chat GPT make it sound more grammatically correct and more interesting, as it were. Um, so that's what we're using AI for today. That's my vision for, as we're recording this, January of 2024. The reality is that
Mhm.
in 3 to 6 months from now, there could be 5 other innovations that happen. So for example, using AI. So I know there's a lot of functionality. The question is what's
Right.
accessible, what's easy, and where should I spend my time? There's AI where you can have it run a sales bot, literally a voice conversation with
Right.
people, right?
Right. Right.
Air.ai does that. So,
Right.
and there's a few others that do that too.
True.
There's this idea of being able to like train an AI on several videos like this
Mm-hmm.
one and
Right.
have the AI manually you could type up text and that text turns into what the person in the video is saying even though they never actually said it. Right? We're going to tinker with that over the next few years, next few months. So
Mm-hmm.
fascinating time, great space, and going back to the comments
Gotcha.
earlier, it's never been a better time to be a technology tinkerer.
All right. Now, it brought me one question to it. Now, as you're using the AI to create all those ads and of course sales copy, so now this mindset is also going into the customers who are coming to you or who are coming to you, and they started thinking that okay, why we need to give this piece of work to some outside consulting companies or agencies, why we cannot do it ourselves. So how do you see the impact on such type of businesses?
In relation to our business in particular,
Yeah,
or yeah.
I mean,
So
the way you explained that you were using for sales copy or the banners creation or
sure,
all that or idea. So
sure,
if I'm running a large organization and I can start thinking of why I need to hire another agency to give this work to them, why not
100%.
I use AI and I can get out of it?
I'm over 99% of our revenue is from ad buying, not creative development. So we
Mhm.
do creative. We there's massive scale in ad buying, and we do creative development as a must have related to clients who don't know how to develop ads or don't want to go to
Mhm.
another agency to make it easier on them. Our clients are actually creative shops. And when I say
Mhm.
creative shops, they don't get out of bed for a project that's under 25 grand, right? Like they just want to have
Right.
that conversation. They do, they're real creative people, strategists, the geniuses and the crazies that make creative work, right?
Mhm.
So those are our clients that pair up our media buying. The reality is that at any time, like the business that I've created can be recreated anywhere. We're
Mhm.
fundamentally entrepreneurs. Like,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
can have access to the trade desk and stack adapt and basis and all that stuff. It's not a question of can you do it? My
Mhm.
mother could do it if she wanted to. She doesn't want
Right.
to. And a lot of companies
Mhm.
don't want to
Don't want.
because it's hard. It's very hard.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
question isn't do you want to, can you? It's
Mhm.
do you actually want to and can you do it well? Because creative work, for example, is a very different type of work than media buying work. It's
True.
creative versus numbers, very different. Our clients are strategy and consulting firms that
Mhm.
we're in the activation business, they're in the thinking business. Very
Mhm.
different. So it's
Mhm.
fundamentally about do you want to recreate this or do you want to not have to deal with the headache of spending a few years and millions of dollars trying to figure this out. That's
Mhm.
that's the moat that we actually have.
Mhm.
It's just
Okay.
hard to do.
All right. Got it. Got it. Now, maybe a couple of questions on as you bootstrap this one over the last 10 years, and while doing it, what are the if someone want to copy paste your model?
Yeah.
So, what are the what some bad recommendations you are getting it? Maybe they need to ignore it.
So if they want to copy and paste our model, you're talking about our business or AI?
Business.
Yeah. So we welcome people who want to copy and paste our model.
Hmm.
So we actually have a course and a coaching program which we're launching in 2024,
Right.
which is we will give you all the insight, knowledge, and expertise that you need
Mhm.
to be an agency.
Right.
We're not going to teach you how to do media buying because that's the hardest part of it. That's the part
Mhm.
like you can watch YouTube videos and you can learn tricks and methods and hacks on Meta, but the thing so let me separate this conversation. There's two things. The actual work of media buying requires experience and it
Mhm.
requires ongoing diligence. I can't
Mhm.
teach anyone that. I can't teach
Right.
anyone to have 20 years of experience like I have and my
True.
team
True.
has,
True.
right?
True.
What I can teach people is how to do everything but the media buying so they can have an agency and actually white label us.
Mhm.
So the goal
Mhm.
is whether you're just starting out and you want to create an agency, or you've been in sales for 20 years, or your technology,
Right.
or you have just a passion for this,
Mm,
we will give you everything you need to understand about marketing and
mhm,
advertising so you can be successful selling marketing and other types of services on the back of our media buying capabilities.
mhm,
So
mm.
you may want to do AI for market.
Right.
You may want to do AI, but you know that there's real exponential revenue in advertising. So you
Mhm,
do AI services, you pair it
mm,
up with our media buying services, and we go to market. We will fill in
mhm,
the gap so you understand everything about media buying so you can sell it, manage
mm.
it, and make money off of it. That's the
Right.
course of the coaching program.
Right.
And it's only $199 a month because we want scale. And the biggest
Mhm,
thing I like, one of the most interesting things for me is actually growing other agencies, which we've done several times over our career with other people, not just mine, and
mhm.
partnering with them. Now, when we talk about bad advice, here's the bad advice that people need to understand. The bad advice is taking shortcuts. There are no shortcuts.
Mm,
Nothing is passive. You're going to work
mhm.
harder than you've ever worked before. No matter how
Right.
hard you work now, you
Mhm,
will work harder in your own business, and you will be
mhm,
motivated and inspired and loving it, but you will work many more hours.
mhm,
Number 3, you need money in the bank to cover the hard times.
mhm.
So that's an actual piece of advice. That's not bad advice.
Right. Not the
That's an
bad
actual
ones.
piece of
True.
advice. Going back to bad advice, sorry,
No, no, they're good.
when you think about bad advice, it's that you can take a course or get a
Mm,
certificate and learn how to do this work. Everyone and their
mm.
mother is offering a course. Hence
True.
me. I'm offering a course. Um, the difference is people are going to teach you short-term hacks where
Mhm.
you don't understand the theory, where you don't understand the fundamentals of how it works.
Right.
Or they're going to teach you old technology. That's the other
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
So, no courses. You're not going to pay $100 or $1,000 or $5,000 to learn how to do Facebook ads with no experience. It just won't be effective. What
Mhm.
you will probably learn, to be fair, is you'll probably learn enough to talk about it and be
Right.
effective at it. Be effective at talking about it, and you'll probably be able to sell stuff into it.
Mhm,
But it's unlikely that you'll be able to do it yourself. There's plenty of people. That's a challenge with agencies. Everyone can
mhm,
start an agency. All you need is a computer, an internet connection, and a Facebook account. You can run Facebook ads, but there's no
mhm,
experience behind it. There's no learnings.
mhm.
So, so, and when I say certificate, by the way, I don't mean college certificate. College
Right.
certificates are different. That's the 2-year
True.
program, or like that. That's worthwhile. Not that doesn't replace 20 years of experience, but
Mhm,
those are valid programs.
mhm.
I'm talking about the things that you do in like 3
True.
weeks
True.
or
Sure.
16 weeks, that type of thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
the last thing is that there are other white label companies that exist. There's a company called Vendasta that exists.
Okay. Mhm,
The challenge with them and other companies like them is they don't have the white glove service that Brill Media
mhm,
provides. Like, you're not gonna be talking to people with 10, 20 years of experience running advertising campaigns. They won't
mhm.
be as responsive as we are. They won't have the insights that we have. Vendasta's a good company for certain things like website design and listings and whatnot. The last thing, which is
Okay.
a positive thing, is to figure
Mhm,
out a niche. The niche
mhm.
could be either an industry that you serve or a set of services that you offer. Like,
Right.
we don't offer website design. We don't
Mhm,
offer search engine optimization or a bunch of other marketing things or
mhm,
PR. We stick to
mhm.
our lane. We do one thing. We do media
Right.
buying.
Mhm,
So I advise anyone who's interested in this world or any related world of this professional manner is really understand what you're the best at, focus on your zone of genius, and outsource the rest of it.
mhm. Okay. Got it. Thank you so much for joining the Open Tech Talks show. As a concluding remarks, if you want to share, if someone reach out to you, what are the some channels or maybe website?
Absolutely. So our website is brillmedia.co, B as in boy, RILL media.co. There's three types of ways you can work with us. We have large advertisers spending $300,000 to $500,000 a month.
Mhm.
We have small businesses spending $1,500 a month. And then you can work with us with the coaching.
Thanks for listening to the OTech
course
Talks
program, which is
podcast, and be
$199
part
a
of
month
Tech
on your
Talks
credit
at
card. You can sign up on our website.
otechtalks.tv. It's a
If you
turf to
want
share
to work with
ideas,
us on a
insights,
campaign
and
basis,
innovations.
hit the Start Now button, fill out your information, and you'll be prompted to schedule a time with me via your email.
Great. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you, Kashif.